Welcome back to Braintree Today. I'm Martha Konstandinidis and you're watching BCAM TV. Now we'll be getting into our latest stories from the week. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky spoke with Chinese President Xi Jinping by phone for the first time since Russia invaded Ukraine in 2022. According to the Chinese government, the two exchanged views on the crisis in Ukraine during the call, with Xi reaffirming China's support for peace talks. The two leaders talked for about an hour, according to a statement from Zelensky. The statement said the two, quote, discussed a full range of topical issues of bilateral relations. Particular attention was paid to methods of possible cooperation to establish a just and sustainable peace for Ukraine, end quote. The Chinese government said they plan to send a special envoy to help conduct in-depth communications with all parties for a political settlement, while also continuing to provide humanitarian assistance to Ukraine. The Federal Bureau of Investigation is warning American citizens to avoid traveling to the country of Haiti amid a surge of violence that included an American couple being kidnapped just last month. The Miami Herald reports that FBI Supervisory Special Agent Liz Santamaria said this week, quote, while we understand that there are strong ties between Haiti and South Florida, before traveling there, one should consider the trauma and financial costs of being kidnapped not only to themselves, but to their family and friends as well, end quote. According to the FBI's Miami office, kidnappings are surging in Haiti with a 300% increase in the first 3 months of 2023 when compared to 2022. On Tuesday, United States President Joe Biden formally announced his bid for re-election in 2024. In a video released early Tuesday, Biden framed next year's election as a fight against Republican extremism, arguing he needs more time to fully restore the nation's character. This has diminished any lingering doubts about his intentions and begins a contest that could lead to a rematch with his 2020 rival, former President Donald Trump. Already known as the oldest U.S. president at 80, Biden faces no shortage of obstacles leading up to next year's election, as his approval ratings hover in the low 40s. The announcement came 4 years to the day that Biden made his official 2020 bid for president. In a stunning announcement on Monday, Fox News said they are severing ties with top-rated host Tucker Carlson. The announcement was posted on social media reading, quote, we thank him for his service to the network as a host and prior to that as a contributor, end quote. While the departure leaves Fox without one of its biggest stars, advertisers have fled Carlson's shows as he embraced controversy. Shortly after news of Carlson's exit, CNN announced they would part ways with one of their longtime hosts, Don Lemon. CNN CEO Chris Licht wrote in a memo to staff, quote, Don will forever be a part of the CNN family, and we thank him for his contributions over the past 17 years, end quote. Lemon released a statement of his own on Twitter claiming he was stunned and called out CNN for not informing him of his firing directly. CNN did prove his claims to be inaccurate as they offered the host an opportunity to meet with the management team. A new fast-growing COVID-19 Omicron subvariant has become a variant of interest to the World Health Organization. XBB 1.16 is a mashup of two sublineages. The variant has been nicknamed Arcturus, like the brightest star in the northern celestial hemisphere. Dr. Neha Narula with Stanford Healthcare said in a statement, quote, it was identified in India earlier this year and has spread to 29 other countries, including the U.S. It is still a part of the Omicron lineage, so these are the particular variants we have been seeing for the last year, end quote. Symptoms from the new variant differ a little from previous subvariants, as doctors are seeing symptoms of conjunctivitis, or more commonly known as pink eye. Thanks for watching Braintree Today. We'll be right back with more after the break.
If you're 50 or older, it's important to stay up to date on COVID vaccines. Boosters greatly reduce your chance of severe illness, hospitalization, and death, and are an important defense, even if you've already had COVID. Schedule your appointment today at mass.gov/COVID booster.
Welcome back. Braintree police were called to a Bickford Road home on Tuesday after a report of an armed home invasion at about 7:40 p.m. The residents of the home said 3 men knocked on the door, and when answered, one of the residents was immediately assaulted. Police said the 3 men referred to the victim by name during the invasion and spent a short time in the house before leaving. A motive for the crime is currently being investigated, but police say they believe this is a targeted crime and an isolated incident, as it is believed to be related to online gaming and other online activities. Police are also asking if anyone who recognizes the men or their black sedan to please call detectives at 781-794-8620 or submit a tip to tips@braintreema.gov. On Tuesday night, District 3 Town Councilor Elizabeth Maglio shared updates on the investigation of the Clean Harbors facility fire back in February. Here's more from Councilor Maglio.
As everyone will recall, on February 28th and March 21st, Clean Harbors officials and state officials from the Department of Environmental Protection attended our council hearings here at Town Hall regarding the Clean Harbors chemical fire at the Fore River Basin. At that time, Clean Harbors assured us on the record and in front of DEP that there was no spill into the basin. Unfortunately, that does not appear to be the case. And for starters, there are a few things that we weren't made aware of at the time by either DEP or other industry officials. Evidently, Citgo had a gas spill the day before, so that was February 15th. At no time did anyone from DEP or Clean Harbors or Citgo ever raise that during any of these conversations. It was through people who are watching the filings and what is being posted that they're starting to connect the dots and seeing that there's more information and there's more to this story. We were told by DEP officials as well as Clean Harbor officials that there was no spillage. There was no water that got anywhere other than where it was supposed to be and where it could be contained and retained. And therefore, if no water got out, then there was no issue. That's actually not true. And this is according to these documents that they are in fact filing. So these are their inspectors and investigators who are filing these documents. 3 potential escape points for firefighting water. One was by the temporary loading dock, the second was by the lunch building, and the third was the eastern boundary with the abutting Citgo property. Now, Citgo had an oil spill, a gas spill the day before, and then they got this chemical toxic fire water the day of. The problem is that the firefighting water traveled from Clean Harbors to Citgo. It had 20,000 ppm of acetone. It then traveled back to Clean Harbors, where it had 13,000 parts per million. Meanwhile, some of it was released into the river, and since Citgo's water separator is designed to remove petroleum, some of this suspected toxic soup was released into the river.
Also during the town council meeting, Town Clerk Jim Casey had some new revisions to share regarding early voting procedures in the town. Here's more from the town clerk.
Early voting. I bring attention to the newly revised early voting process provision that provides members of the town council to decide to opt in to early voting and/or opt out of early voting by mail for local elections up to 45 days before the election.
To watch the full meeting, you can catch it on BCAM TV's government channel, Comcast Channel 8, and Verizon Channel 26, or you can watch it on youtube.com/BCAMTV. Then on Sunday, April 25th, members of the Braintree Rotary Club and town officials gathered together for the Century of Service celebration. A number of people made comments and speeches, including Gavin Williams, president of the Braintree Rotary Club, Patrick J. Leonard Jr., club historian and honorary member, Mayor Charles Kokoris, and many others. Here's a clip from the celebration.
And the copy of the proclamation that you have in your hand is a copy of the one that the mayor is going to present to Gavin for the archive of the club at the Braintree Historical Society. And we're reading this for the people who are here certainly, but also for the people in the home audience who we want to share information about Rotary International and the Braintree Rotary Club also. And when I am reading this, please be looking at that page, because I'm going to be mentioning the names of many of those people. This page in your program booklet is the charter members of the club, and there are a dozen photos. And I think it's nice that when you see and hear, see the photo and hear the name of the man, then it brings the two things together and brings these people back with us again. Remember, 100 years ago today, all of those people were in this building. Town of Braintree, a proclamation. Whereas Paul P. Harris founded Rotary Club No. 1 in Chicago, Illinois on February 23, 1905, with the mission of fostering superior ethical standards in the workplace, developing mutual respect and good fellowship among all business and professional people, providing high-quality community service, and taking as its motto, service above self.
You can watch the full Braintree Rotary Club Century of Service celebration on BCAM TV's government channel, Comcast Channel 8, and Verizon Channel 26, or you can watch it on youtube.com/BCAMTV. Excavation work on the site of the new Tri-Town water treatment plant should be completed by early next week. It was halted earlier this year due to the discovery of Native American artifacts at the site. At a meeting of the Water Board last week, Helen Gordon, who is supervising the $122 million construction project for the Tri-Town, said the excavation work resumed on April 10th and was more than halfway complete. Members of the Narragansett Nation are on site during the work and are joined by Wampanoag members when they are available. At its March meeting, the Tri-Town Board approved $282,000 to pay for the additional oversight. The money will come from money budgeted for permitting costs and from the project's $5 million contingency fund. The partial work stoppage should not delay completion of the treatment plant scheduled for late 2025 because more construction days were built into the project schedule. Mayor Kokoris has announced that the return date for the Braintree Annual Beautification Day is April 29th. Residents will gather at Braintree Town Hall at 8 a.m. for location suggestions and to collect materials like rakes, bags, and work gloves. Kokoris said in a statement that he, quote, looks forward to the event every year. Beautification Day is a great opportunity for our entire community, both residents and businesses, to come together to show our pride in our town's beauty and appeal, end quote. This year's target areas include the Town Hall, Memorial Mall, the grounds of the Braintree Historical Society, the beach and park at Sunset Lake, Penniman Park on Cleveland Avenue, Smith Beach, and the Braintree High School access road. In the event of inclement weather, Beautification Day will be moved to May 6th. Residents with questions can call the Mayor's office at 781-794-8100 or the Recreation office at 781-794-8901. The annual rabies clinic for the town of Braintree is scheduled for Saturday, May 13th from 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. outside the side entrance of the town hall. The clinic is sponsored by the town of Braintree, the Braintree Jaycees, and the Dr. Joseph Kosman, DMV of the VCA. The vaccination fee is $15 per animal. Everyone is asked to bring their animal's current rabies certificate. Thank you for watching Braintree Today on BCAM TV. We'll be right back with more stories in the area.
Every home needs a basic emergency supply kit. It should meet the unique needs of the people who live there. Your kit doesn't have to cost a lot. You probably already have many of these supplies, and you can get others at a discount store. Visit mass.gov/beprepared.
Welcome back to Braintree Today. Now let's get right into more stories. January of 2022, Karen Reed was accused of hitting her Boston police officer boyfriend with her SUV before leaving him to die in a snowbank. Reed's lawyers are now saying that they have uncovered new evidence that will clear her name and implicate two others in the death of Officer John O'Keefe. The new evidence shows that hours before Reed found O'Keefe's body, someone else who attended the after party O'Keefe was at made a suspicious search on Google. The search was made by Jennifer McCabe, who is the sister-in-law of Brian Albert, who was the host of the after party. The search was made at 2:27 a.m. and read, "How long to die in cold." Forensic analysis of McCabe's phone made by defense experts showed that the Google search was intentionally deleted, along with communications made among McCabe and Albert and his wife during the early morning hours of January 29, 2022. The next hearing is currently planned for May 3rd. The T announced Monday that weekend and nighttime closures will hit segments of the Red Line soon in order to give MBTA crews more time to perform maintenance and repairs aimed at lifting speed restrictions. Shuttle buses will replace Red Line service between JFK UMass and Braintree beginning May 8th, as well as between Broadway and Ashmont and Broadway and Braintree beginning May 13th for rail and tie replacement work. The shuttle bus replacements will happen periodically throughout the month of May. You can visit the MBTA website at mbta.com to find the schedule. Bradley Rain of Hingham, the man charged with causing a fatal crash at the Derby Street Apple store last fall, will remain out on bail as investigators continue to question his claim that a faulty accelerator pedal caused him to drive his car into the storefront. Rain was arraigned in Brockton Superior Court on Monday on a handful of charges including second-degree murder. Rain pleaded not guilty to all charges. While he awaits trial, he has been ordered to not drive, surrender his passport, not possess weapons, wear a GPS monitor, and not leave the state without the court's approval. Rain is now due in Plymouth for a pre-trial conference on June 21st. Between April 18th and April 28th, the Norfolk County Mosquito Control District will be conducting helicopter applications of the biorational larvicide BTI to control mosquito larvae. These applications will be conducted over specific large wetlands in Braintree, Weymouth, Holbrook, Quincy, and many others. For further information, you can visit norfolkcountymosquito.org or contact David A. Lawson, Director, at 781-762-3681, or the Board of Health in the towns affected. The Norfolk County Sheriff's Office is partnering with the Free Jacks Rugby Club to promote Heroes Among Us, a celebration of first responders. The Heroes Among Us event will be an all-day celebration on Sunday, April 30th at Veterans Memorial Stadium in Quincy, beginning with a Free Jacks Flag Frenzy Junior non-contact rugby tournament at 9:30 a.m., followed by a touch-a-truck zone from 12 to 3 p.m. where families can interact with and tour emergency vehicles. Additionally, there will be a live music performance, a chowder tasting competition, and a rugby match between the Free Jacks and the Rugby New York Ironworks at 3 p.m. You can visit freejacks.com for more information and to purchase tickets. Thanks for watching Braintree Today. We'll be right back with more in entertainment.
Want a year of no-cost birth control with just one trip to the pharmacy? Access, a Massachusetts law, can make it easier. Get more control over your birth control. Find out if you're covered. Learn more at mass.gov/birthcontrol.
Welcome back to Braintree Today. This week in entertainment, we have a few movie recommendations for you to watch. First up in entertainment, Air is based on real events about the origin of Air Jordan, a basketball shoe line of which a Nike employee tries to strike a deal with basketball rookie Michael Jordan. The film was directed by and stars Ben Affleck, and you can watch Air now only in theaters. Next up in entertainment, Dungeons & Dragons: Honor Among Thieves focuses on a charming thief and a band of unlikely adventurers who embark on an epic quest to retrieve a long-lost relic. Their adventure goes south when they run into conflict with the wrong people. The film stars Sophia Lillis and Chris Pine. You can watch Dungeons & Dragons: Honor Among Thieves only in theaters. And finally, in entertainment, Polite Society focuses on a martial artist in training who believes she must save her older sister from an impending marriage. After enlisting the help of friends, she attempts to pull off the most ambitious wedding heist in the name of independence and sisterhood. You can watch Polite Society now only in theaters. That'll do it for news today. I'm Martha Konstandinidis, and thank you for watching Braintree Today on BCAM TV. Stay safe, and we'll see you next time.